Hey everyone, I'm Leslie Seipert. I am a wife, mommy, teacher, and I think Tom Petty described it the best in the beginning of his song when he said, "She's crazy about Elvis, loves Jesus, and horses too." That's me. I'm also a Plexus ambassador, and this is the story of how I got to that point. Okay. So in the next few minutes, I hope that you can relate to something that I'm saying, and how you are feeling, or maybe you know of a loved one that's feeling that way, because I just want to give you some hope in my story that there is something out there that may change everything for you. It did for me. All right, so I've always been a worrier. In elementary school, I can just think back to being that shy, quiet kid that never would raise her hand during class to answer a question out of fear of being called on, and I was just not the outgoing type whatsoever. So if you would have told me that I would have been a teacher when I grew up, I would say, you're a liar. If you would tell me today that I would be speaking to thousands of people about my health testimony, I'd say you're a super duper big liar. But anyways, the Lord had other plans. So whenever I became a mom, everything about my health sort of just spiraled out of control. I was coming off of a really good feeling, healthy pregnancy, and I did not know what tired was until postpartum. So can you relate? You always want to take naps when your kid naps. Yes, that was me. And if anyone came in and interrupted nap time, I was really frustrated, really mad at them. I was furious because I just felt like I could not get enough sleep ever. My eczema that had been gone since high school resurfaced, not just on my neck, not just on my shoulders, arms. Back was the worst place of all. That's the part that kept me up at night. I was just clawing at my skin till it bled. It went down the trunk of my body to my hips and my legs, but it was also on my face too, and that was really hard to hide. You know, I could hide my body. It was really hard to hide your face, and especially when people would stare at me and ask questions like, "Are you okay? You look like you've been crying." Like, then I have to go into everything. Oh, that's my eczema. So I started experiencing really heavy allergies. I felt like I had a sinus infection all the time. I had weird food sensitivities pop up. So I was going to dermatologist, 2 different ones. I was going to a GI doctor with my esophagus issues, because I knew hamburger was a trigger for me, red meat was a trigger for me, but then little things like such as a cracker would not go down my esophagus. It was super frustrating because being a person with hypoglycemia, that is really frustrating because you want to eat a lot and keep your metabolism going, keep your blood sugar up. And I just couldn't. And so I was getting even more tired from that. I had been to an internist on top of that, getting blood work done, trying to figure out if there was anything weird going on with me. Everything returned fine. I was just getting creams from dermatologist. I was getting reflux meds from my GI doctor, and no real answers as to why in the world my body was experiencing all these things. Now, eczema was popping up in my son when he was about a year old, and I thought, well, great, I've passed on my allergies and my skin issues to him, and there's nothing I can do about it because it's genetics. I was in for a surprise on that one. Then one day, in church, I'm the church pianist, and we were playing, music for worship. I felt a tightness in my chest and in my throat. My heart was racing. I thought, is this a blood sugar low? This feels a little bit different. Soon, I could not sit there any longer because it felt like if I did, I would pull my hair out or literally like scream out. So I made the decision to get up and leave service, and everybody watched me because there was no piano anymore. And I had experienced my first panic attack. I never wanted that to happen again. Fast forward to January 2016. My mom swoops into the rescue. She knows I've been trying so many things. She's been taking Plexus on and off, and she hands me a bottle of Probio 5. She says, here, I want you and Marshall to try this. I think it might help your skin. So I said, why not? My husband said, hang on, before you take your first one, I want to take a picture of you. I said, I'm not smiling because I'm not a pill person. I didn't want to take my prescription meds. I didn't want to take a probiotic. I didn't even know what a probiotic was or what it did. So anyways, I didn't smile in my picture, but I'm so glad he did that for me, because now I can look back on it and think, I'm never going back to that. So 4 months later, in April of 2016, my skin was clear, and I got in the pool with my son to do a mommy and me swim class, and I was confident about it. Fast forward a year later, May 2017, I began to publicly share my health testimony, because so many more health breakthroughs have happened in a whole year, especially my anxiety. And I feel confident now to be able to share my testimony so that it may help others. And I just have to brag on what the Lord has done for me. This was all orchestrated by Him. There's no way that I could have had the breakthrough that I did without Him. Without Him, giving my mom that idea to come to me with a probiotic, without laying Plexus in my lap, without having 65 other people join my team and having their own health issues. It could not happen without Him. And I'm so just proud to be a part of this and proud to be able to help other people. I call my team the cup fillers, because we ourselves, if our cup is empty, we cannot go fill it and serve others well. We can't be a mommy, a wife, a teacher, all those things we are called to be, and the purpose that we have that God has called us to do, without having our cups filled. So we fill ours so that we may fill others. So that is my story. That is my testimony. And I'm so thankful for Plexus.